Everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet a Harvest Votive. This is an easy and fast little fall project, and all it is really is a jelly jar, and then I've made a crocheted sleeve to fit around it, and then it's closed with a wood fall looking button. There are two versions. There's a larger sleeve for a taller jar, and then there is a shorter sleeve for a shorter jelly jar. These are both the quilted jelly jar that you can buy in the canning aisle of your store, grocery store, or department store. So for this project, you'll need worsted weight yarn of your choice. I'm using Lion Brand's Heartland. The orange is called Yosemite, the green is called Joshua Tree. You also need a 5mm H crochet hook. If you do choose different yarn, just make sure you find something that recommends an H hook, or you could even find something that recommends an I hook and just go down. This yarn actually does recommend an I hook, and I went down to the H hook for this particular project. You'll also need some buttons. And if you like these particular buttons, I have more information about them on the Fiberflux blog, and the link can be found at the bottom of this video for that, the written pattern with information about the buttons. You also need a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle for doing the finish work and sewing your button on at the end. So let's get started. This video will show you how to make the smaller version. And I also have a video on how to make the larger version. So let's get started. So again, we're going to be doing the smaller version of our Harvest Votive. This measures 9 inches around and 1.5 inches tall. So to begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook, and bring up a loop. Tighten it onto your hook. Then we'll do a starting chain of 7. To make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To make the first row, we're going to make our first, if you look back at our votive, you can see it's kind of like stacked fans. So to make our first fan, or V, we're going to make the first fan in the 5th chain from the hook. This loop here does not count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this chain right here, we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. To make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert it into the chain, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. That's the double crochet. Then we'll make another double crochet, and we're doing this all in the same chain. Then we'll chain 1, and then we'll work 2 more double crochets. Again, all in the same chain. And because we're putting so many stitches in this one chain, it'll cause it to kind of fan out and create that fan shape. Okay, so we work 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and 2 double crochets, all in the same chain. Then we're going to skip a chain, and in the very last chain, we'll work 1 double crochet. And that first row is now complete. To continue on to the second row, and for each row after that, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work, and then in the center of this fan, in the written pattern, I refer to it as the chain 1 space. When we made the chain 1 from the previous row, it creates this little opening. We're going to work a fan into that space. So if we go back to our votive, you can see that these fans are kind of stacked on top of one another. So right into that space, we're going to do the same thing. 2 double crochets, 1, 2. We'll get some more yarn out. So 2 double crochets, then a chain 1, then 2 double crochets, all in that space, that chain 1 space. Then to finish this row, we're going to work a double crochet in the turning chain space. So right into this hole here that was created by that chain 3 at the end of the previous row, we're going to work a double crochet right into that space. Just like that. So it should look like that. So to continue with your votive, you're going to keep repeating the row that we just finished over and over and over and over again until it measures about 9 inches. Then you'll take a button and your tapestry needle. I'll now show you how to do that. We're going to fasten off here, but again, you'll keep going until it's about 9 inches. So when you're finished, you'll just trim your yarn and then fasten off. And then you'll have 2 tails, and then you'll take your tapestry needle and you'll just weave it in. Just like that. I like to come in one direction with my tail, like this, and then come back in the other direction with my tail, just to lock that tail in. It helps to keep it from popping out. Okay, and then you'll just weave the tail in just like that. I went ahead and unbuttoned our other votive sleeve just to show you how I did the button. So when we started our starting chain, it was along this bottom edge. You can look at our sample here. So you're going to sew the button to the starting edge where you began your project. And then when you finish, you'll use this very top V here as your buttonhole. So you can go ahead and button it like that. If you would like a more snug fit, you can come in one buttonhole if you find that it's a little loose. So let's put this right here so we can use it as a guide. So you're just going to hold your button in place, thread your tapestry needle, and then come in through the back, and then back in. You can just do this a few times. 2 or 3 times should be fine. Get that sewn. Then you can flip it over and then just tie it. Just like that. Then you can just weave these ends in and it'll look like that. So to finish, you'll just weave in any ends that remain, and then you can button your votive right onto your jar. And then you can use these jars to hold a fall treat. You can put some candy in it and use the lid. I didn't use the lid because I used mine as a candle, but you can just use it as a votive. You can put some fall treats inside. You can give it as a teacher gift. So that's it. That's how you crochet the Harvest Votive, the smaller version. And also be sure and watch how to crochet the larger version of the Harvest Votive, and you'll have a nice little set for fall. And it's a great way to use some extra yarn maybe you had from a larger fall project. So that's it. That's how you create and crochet the Harvest Votive. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure and click the red subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.